At the office.
10-4, hey, can you 911 outside?
On my way.
911, what's your emergency?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 14 of my series, Crafts and Crimes. My name is Kelly of Miss Kelly's Gifts. Every week, I post a new video of myself crafting while talking about a different true crime case. This week, I'll be talking about the case of the Richardson family murders. The Richardson family lived in Medicine Hat, Alberta, Canada. They consisted of 42-year-old Mark Richardson, his wife, 48-year-old Deborah Richardson, and two children, 12-year-old Jasmine and 8-year-old Tyler. On April 23, 2006, a friend of Tyler's knocked on the door of the Richardson home, hoping that Tyler could come out and play. When he looked through a basement window after there was no answer, the little boy saw the bodies of Mark and Deborah lying on the floor. The boy ran home to tell his parents, and the police were called. Upon entering the house, authorities realized that not only had 3 members of the Richardson family been slaughtered, but that their 12-year-old daughter, Jasmine, was missing. They feared that she had been abducted and was possibly a 4th victim. But as investigators began looking closer, the horrible truth would soon come out. Prior to 2005, Jasmine Richardson was described as being a happy, vibrant, and social young girl. It was around 2005 where she began heading down a darker path. Other students at her school said that they were afraid of Jasmine and began avoiding her as much as possible. She began dressing in all black, hanging around with the goth kids at her school and listening to punk music. In 2006, Jasmine Richardson attended a punk rock show where she met 23-year-old Jeremy Stanky. Jeremy's upbringing wasn't nearly as wholesome as Jasmine's. His mother was an alcoholic, and her partner would often abuse Jeremy. The kids at school bullied him, and previously he had attempted suicide. Jeremy Stanky had developed an elaborate fantasy world in which he was a 300-year-old vampire and even went so far as to wear a vial of blood around his neck. Richardson and Stanky became obsessed with each other. When Mark and Deborah learned of Jasmine's relationship with the 23-year-old Jeremy, they swiftly attempted to put a stop to it. It wasn't just the age difference they objected to. The fact that Jeremy claimed to be a 300-year-old vampire and that he claimed to love the taste of blood also concerned them deeply. They knew this man was not going to be a good influence on their impressionable 12-year-old daughter. Unfortunately, Jasmine was headstrong and believed that her first love would be her only one. She refused to be grounded and even considered running away to be with her much older boyfriend. The couple took their relationship online, where her parents couldn't stop them from communicating. One of the messages that Jasmine sent to Jeremy said, "I have a plan. It begins with me killing them and ends with me living with you." Jeremy was reportedly very receptive to the idea, saying, "Well, I love your plan, but we need to get a little more creative, like with details and stuff." She reportedly told friends about the plan to kill her parents, but they either didn't believe her or thought she was joking. The day before the murders took place, Jeremy watched the film Natural Born Killers with his friends, and is alleged to have said that he and his girlfriend should do something similar, but that they wouldn't spare her younger brother. Just a few hours before the murders took place, Jasmine Richardson posted on her Vampire Freaks account, "Welcome to my tragic end." On the night of April 22nd, 2006, Jeremy Stanky, dressed in all black and wearing a ski mask, snuck into the Richardson family home with a knife. Deborah Richardson, hearing a sound coming from somewhere in the house, got out of bed to investigate and made her way to the basement. She was stabbed over a dozen times and her throat was slashed, but not before her screams could wake up her husband. Mark Richardson rushed into the basement with a screwdriver in his hand to try and fight off Stanky. Unfortunately, Jeremy was able to get the upper hand, and Mark was also stabbed to death with his throat slashed open. During this time, Jasmine ran to her brother Tyler's room, allegedly to comfort him because he was scared. Jasmine then proceeded to stab her 8-year-old brother in the chest while Jeremy slit his throat, before they pulled the covers back over his body, making it look as though he was tucked into bed sleeping. When asked why her brother had to die, Jasmine said that he was too sensitive and it would be wrong to leave him without parents. The couple fled Medicine Hat with the help of Jeremy Stanky's friend, 19-year-old Casey Lancaster, who helped the couple destroy evidence. Jasmine Richardson and Jeremy Stanky were located on April 24th, 2006, only 81 miles away in Leader, Saskatchewan. By this time, Jasmine was considered a suspect rather than a missing person. This was due not only to the messages exchanged between the two on social media and through email, but also a drawing found in her locker at her junior high school. The drawing was of a stick figure setting a house on fire with her family inside before running to her boyfriend's truck. When the couple were arrested, Jeremy Stanky confessed to killing Deborah and Mark Richardson, while Jasmine confessed to killing her younger brother Tyler. While being questioned, neither one of them showed any remorse for their crimes. During their time in custody awaiting trial, Stanky and Richardson were allowed to write letters to each other, and it was in one of these letters that he proposed to her and she allegedly accepted. In November 2008, Jeremy Stanky went on trial for 3 counts of first-degree murder and was found guilty that same month. He was sentenced to 3 life sentences to be served concurrently in December 2008. He will be eligible for parole after 25 years. Jeremy Stanky remains incarcerated at a federal facility in Canada, but no information is available on which one due to Canadian privacy laws. Under the Youth Criminal Justice Act, 12 years old is the youngest age in which someone can be charged with a crime in Canada. Under that same act, anyone who was under 14 years old at the time they committed their crimes cannot be charged as an adult and cannot be given more than a 10-year sentence. In June 2007, Jasmine Richardson went on trial and pled not guilty to 3 counts of first-degree murder. The trial lasted 1 month, and in July she was found guilty on all 3 counts. In November 2007, at 13 years old, she received the maximum sentence of 10 years. She is believed to have been the youngest person in Canadian history to be convicted of multiple murder. Her sentence included credit for 18 months already served in prison, 4 years in a psychiatric institution, and 4.5 years under conditional supervision in the community. While institutionalized, Jasmine Richardson was diagnosed with oppositional defiant disorder and conduct disorder. Being diagnosed with these disorders helps explain some of her behavior changes, including her defiance toward her parents, her anger, the frequent arguments, and her drive to seek revenge on her parents for attempting to keep her away from her boyfriend. But this in no way excuses her actions. Richardson began attending classes at Mount Royal University in Calgary, Alberta, during the final years of her sentence in September 2011. On May 6, 2016, Jasmine Richardson's sentence was completed. She was deemed the, quote, poster child of rehabilitation and considered at low risk to reoffend. During her final appearance in court via closed-circuit television, she thanked the judge. However, as she virtually addressed the court from an undisclosed location, it was noted that she made no apology or indicated visible remorse for her actions. Her current whereabouts are unknown, and it is assumed that she is living a discreet life under an assumed name somewhere in Canada. If you're interested in learning more about this case, there's a book about it called Runaway Devil: How Forbidden Love Drove a 12-year-old to Murder Her Family. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Crafts and Crimes. If you want to know more about the things I'm crafting, please check out the links in the description. If you found this video interesting, please leave a like and a comment below with the future cases you want me to talk about. Don't forget to subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on any of the future uploads. I'll see you all next time.